All right, everyone, and welcome back to another chart breakdown. So, like always, we let Asia finish forming before we take a trade. So currently, right now, we are pretty much in the middle of nowhere on a higher time frame range, and we treat the lower time frame like the higher time frame, and the higher time frame like the lower time frame. So there is no difference. So because we know our target is currently somewhere down here, that external range liquidity, all we're doing is just stacking trades until that target is fulfilled. All right. Simple as that. The same thing as the lower time frame. So if we have the target up here, comes into a POI, then all we're doing is longing here until that target is hit. And this right here is most likely Asia session. Asia session is the guide for an intraday trader. Once you finish, we look for a trade, following the overall direction of bias. Which in this case is bullish, right? So we're currently bearish, so we're looking for shorts overall. All right. So what do we have going on here? So we're currently on intraday time frames. The thing I saw was we have a high and then we took out a low. So this is already a break of structure on that 1 hour time frame. That's already a BOS. So I know that's a strong high. And I know automatically that's a weak low. So I know my target. Right? So I know we broke structure somewhere here. We're in a retracement and BOS. This already looks as a T1. So this is going to be liquidity. Like I mentioned, right? 80% of the time, this is going to be a trap. Right? 80% of the time, this is going to be a trap. It's going to be the smart money trap. Just think about it, right? Let's use some logic here. Right? You have a trend line, you have a BOS, Fibonacci, you have supply traders, you have smart money traders going short here, for example, let's say. This is going to be a trap. It's most likely that it is. So all we're going to do is sell above the trap. This is a T1 formation. And we also have Asia right there, that Asia high. So the unswept high. So it's Asia liquidity, in other words, session liquidity. All right. So let's drop down to the minute to see the structure break on this to confirm my range. There's the BOS, clear BOS right there. Price broke, made a retracement, and then made a retracement once again. So, there's that. Now, with experience, you'll be able to see this setup without even going down to the 1 minute. But that right there is the trap. So I'm anticipating this to get taken out. And just above that, we have a 1 hour unmitigated wick. These are the type of setups that I love to take because they're textbook. So I would definitely wait for this to play out and take that. Okay. Just textbook. It's just very obvious. We got Asia low, Asia high, not low, Asia high, feeding liquidity into the POI. That's a trap, a trend line, Fibonacci. We have support and resistance traders. So enough liquidity is being built here. That's just that POI. That's my high of the range. That's my low of the range. You can see the Q information here. You can also see the Q information here. Beacon information, what's above this? We took out all the stops. Impulse to push up, instantly corrected. So imagine everyone that went along here got taken. All right. So, but let's say that you took the trade here and an untested strong high, because it is a strong high. That's your external range right here that we saw in the 1 hour. And this looks like more as a 5-minute internal range. So there's nothing wrong with this. So let's say that you're looking for a short in here. So before price even gets to this POI, and we're going to take this out first, we can take a long before any of this plays out. So where is price currently at right now? We're in an unmitigated wick with liquidity just above it. See that? We have a QM and opposite QM over here. So we have a range from here to here. So this low is being shared with the bigger range. You see that? The same low is being shared. So this will be our first long. I already showed the candles, but it hasn't played out yet. So we can still take this. This would be our first long. We're going to target this because we have an untested QM, in other words, an obstacle. I'll call it an obstacle because it's in the way of the actual direction of bias, as I am expecting this to get taken and come into here. That's my current expectations right now. All right, so we have to be able to adapt. So that's feeding liquidity into this. That's why it's very high probable. So that's around a 1 to 4. It's not bad. See what happens. Okay, so TP hit on this, and let's say that I'm gonna take a short from here. So take a short. It would be around a 4.8 to almost 5. All right, so we're anticipating price to give us a short from this area to the downside. There's a reaction. I do believe it gave you a better entry. So this will be your not your confirmation entry. This will be your direct entry, but now let's look into our confirmation entry. So let me put this back because I don't want it to show. Go to the 1 minute. We got a break of structure. So Q information, form, BOS. QM form right here. All right. Want that high to get taken out to go short. There we go. Perfect. So now we got a 2-pip. Nice. First target for 4R. It's not bad. Overall target, we're anticipating this low to get taken out. Right. Now remember, I'm waiting for this to get taken. I want that to get taken. But, you know, let's still play these out. That's what I'm waiting for. Who knows? I may be wrong. But we're going to just follow the rules and trade what we see and not what we think, right? So we currently see this going on. See what happens. All right. All right, cool. So I for sure went break even already. Right there. Or I could just pay myself. So now let's understand both sides, right? If I'm expecting this low right here, I'm expecting this low, right, to go higher to take out this high, then this would have been my long. If I'm expecting bearish and this high to hold to take out this low, then this would be my new short to take all this out. So let's understand both sides here. Because you have to understand both sides. If a short was taken, then your target will be here. If you're looking for a long, this low fed liquidity into this unmitigated wick. So your long will be here. Your target will be this one because that's the one that we're anticipating price to take out. So this leg should make that push. So now we're covering both sides. All right. So what happens? Okay, yeah. So there you go. You would have got taken out break even, took out this high, and obviously we'll get a reaction because we took out liquidity. Made a retracement. There we go. Nice. Very nice. So now we're in here. So I'm gonna wait for the 1 minute to give me something. Okay, so did it make sense how we covered both sides, how I went over both, right? So if you were just biased on pretty much going bearish, then you would have just taken this and aimed for this. But if you kept both scenarios in mind, then this is how it would have looked like. You would have targeted here, you would have exited here, you would have took this long to take this out, right? So there is no right or wrong. You will get to the point where you have to spot both sides. And that's the reason why I'm going over these chart examples, teaching you guys how to see both of them. So now we came to the POI that I was waiting for. So once this in here, I'm gonna wait for this. That's it. All right, either T1 or T2. All right, a QM in short terms. All right, so we broke structure. Okay. Know how it was broken until here. So we have the first break, I believe. This is a 1 minute. So the first break here. So now we confirm the range from here to here. Yeah. So let's go to the 5 minute. I don't got enough data yet. Now these are highs feeding into this imbalance. I don't want to go to the 15 minute because I feel like it's gonna show the move. But let me see if I can catch along the counter trend. Okay, so I'll go long here. Do you guys see why I will go long here? That's the high, that's the low. We created a QM, the range from here to here. Again, they're sharing the same low. Do you see that? Okay. QM here, right? On the like seconds time frame. So I'm gonna take the counter trend move. And because it's counter trend, we're gonna exit on the internal liquidity. So I'm gonna exit around this area here. Somewhere here. It doesn't gotta be perfect. You notice that most of the trades that are counter trend or ping pong, they're less than 5R. Not all of them, but most of them are. And I don't take anything that is less than 5R. But you know, everyone has their own preference. Okay. This is just to show you guys how to catch these moves. So that's liquidity main fight I get taken. Once price breaks is high, I'm going to break even for sure. All right, so I'm already to break even. I can care less what happens. All right, so now I have a high. Okay, so now price break structure, the retracement. We can actually take another trade from here because price break structure and retracement. Yeah, so this would be T1. But I'm already in the trade, so I probably wouldn't enter again. This is so close. So 1 to 3 again. Let's see what happens. All right, once you take that high out. Okay, so price pushed all the way back down again. Took me out. Okay, so this long that I took me out. Price came down one more time. Let's go into the 5 minute now. So this was a break even and a loss. So we took a break even and we took a loss overall. So now, this is what the trade I took. I know if I took profit here, that's done. We took out sell stops. Well, in this case, buy stops, my fault. We took out buy stops. There's sell stops resting below, so we're gonna take these guys out. To the bigger picture, broke structure, retrace, broke structure once again. T1, we'll go from there. So we had a long from here, break even, and then try to take another one here, which was a loss. So now I'm gonna take it again here because it formed T1 on the bigger scale. That's the high, first target, and then we have the liquidity up here. Okay, oh, that went too fast. All right, perfect. So this is what I mean, react and adapt, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, we're not gonna always be right. Okay, and you can't always know what's gonna happen next. You just gotta anticipate, stick to your rules. So we took a break even and we took a loss. And obviously this one was TP. Nice. And liquidity started to get taken out. So take this out. Take all this out. So price is gonna come somewhere. Because I'm looking for shorts overall. Let's not forget that. All right, there's a imbalance for price action on the 15-minute. That's perfect. It lines up just on that POI too. There's the liquidity right there. There's the high. So I'm gonna take a short from here. First target. Starting low. See what happens. So 1 to 5. So this one definitely I'll take. Nice. Perfect. Perfection. Perfection. So got out to the pip, entered also right on the pip. So we had a long and we had a short. The 5R, I would have taken that one. I would have, because that's a 5R. I wouldn't not take this one or this one. It has to be over 5R. And I keep on saying that for those that ask me, what's the minimum R that I take? It's 5. That's just me personally. 5R is a good return of your investment. So again, just because the trade is there, it doesn't mean that you should take every single trade that you see. Okay? Because not every trade is worth taking. Obviously in the real market, if I were taking this, if this was a 1 to 3, I wouldn't take it. So in reality, I would have avoided this loss. But again, I'm breaking this down for you guys. So I would target now the external range. We go to the 5-minute. Yeah, so we got all the liquidity built up. So it's given price reaching to go lower. Yeah, so this is gonna drop now. This is gonna drop now for sure. It has to. Yeah, there it is. It died. Awesome. Another phenomenal session. So this is how it looks on the 15-minute. This is how it looks in the 1 hour. And this is how it looks on the 5. And this is how it looks on the 1. Nice trades. And all of this was before even New York opened. So it was Frankfurt, and then we had London, Curzon, London open. So these were all the opportunities that presented during this session. All right, we completed the range cycle, which was take out internal, then external. So cycle is complete. The overall cycle is complete. Done. Yep. So for this one would depended because we were talking about catching both sides and whatnot, but in reality, if it was a real back testing, which this was a real back testing, but if I was just back testing and just sticking to my rules, I wouldn't take this. I would have taken this as it was a 1 to 6. So even if I put it right here, so 1 to 5. So I would have taken that for sure. This one I would have also for sure. I would have actually taken both because this would be bothering me. It's like if I take the short here, but this is just left, it's like I see this happen and I know 80% of the time this is gonna get taken. So it will bother me not to, take the long. So I'll take the long for sure. These right here, I wouldn't have taken. This one I would because I was waiting for that short. That's the one I was waiting for. But at the end of the day, guys, you don't need to take all of these. Okay, I'm just showing you what's possible with the way we trade for on the rules T1, T2, ranges, and whatnot. All right. At the end of the day, you just need one of these, just one. Get your 5%, and you're done for the day. So this one right here was the one I was waiting for. Look at that, 10R. All right, well, almost 10R. So like I mentioned in the beginning, I would have waited for price to come to this POI, waited for this, then took it. It was worth the wait because it gave me 10, almost 10R. So that's what I mean by higher probable setups, and that not every trade is worth taking, right? So phenomenal session. That's it for now, guys. Hope it made sense. On to the next one.